Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike O'Malley here with the Hurricane Outlook and discussion for July 11th, 2022, around 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a lot to talk about today, including the potential for a new tropical system to be forming in the Gulf of Mexico. We also have a tropical system that could be threatening Mexico down the road, and a look at the severe weather potential over the continuous United States over the next couple of days. So let's go and jump straight into everything. Taking a weather look across the tropical Atlantic this afternoon, we notice that things are starting to become interesting across the basin right now. First of all, we have this tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico. This is actually a result of an old dying cold front that has moved through the southeast U.S. and is now kind of dying out across the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. And that has led to an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity across basically most of the central and eastern Gulf. Now, this is not really consolidated yet. There is a surface trough in here that it's leading to areas of lower pressure. So pressures have been lowering over the past couple of days, or really the past couple of hours even, as a result of the surface trough being in the region, but not much really has happened yet. Over in the East Pacific, we have two tropical systems of note here. First of all, we have a major hurricane out here in the East Pacific nearing Category 4 intensity. This will be heading off towards the west over the next couple of days while weakening and could get pretty close to Hawaii over here, but poses no significant concern over the next few days. We also have a tropical system here in the East Pacific, in the far eastern part of the East Pacific Basin, and this has a 70% chance of becoming a tropical depression or storm as it generally heads towards the west here. There are some hints that this could get pretty close here, especially on the GFS model. This takes it pretty close to the Baja California Peninsula, but I'm not really too concerned about that. And then the Atlantic Basin, this is the 8 a.m. outlook, but it still stands as of 2 p.m. this afternoon because not much has changed. We have an area of disturbance that is, again, located over the northeastern Gulf, diving southward, and some development of this system is possible over the next couple of days as it kind of meanders around. Either way, this will be bringing heavy rainfall and gusty winds to portions of the Gulf Coast states. So again, looking at the hurricane over here in the East Pacific Basin, pretty strong right now, nearing Category 4 intensity. Pretty well-defined annular hurricane. Again, this will be heading off towards the west over the next few days, but you notice all of this stable air out here by these kind of cumuliform clouds indicate dry, stable air, and that will be running into it and will be weakening the storm as it progresses towards Hawaii. Again, no impact expected for the islands of Hawaii over the next few days. Further eastward in the tropical Pacific, again, we are also going to be monitoring this area over the next couple of days for additional development. An area of low pressure right now, just coming off the tip here of Central America, will be kind of exiting and emerging and could develop into a tropical system within the next 5 days or so. This system here in the GFS isn't likely to happen. That's probably convective feedback problems. But there seems to be no threat, at least for the next couple of days. However, this might try to jog pretty close here to portions of coastal Mexico because the upper level steering patterns will generally be a little bit supportive. But if we actually look here at the European forecast from the 0Z run, the European is much weaker, and ultimately it doesn't really pull the system far enough to the north because it's kind of weak. So somewhere in between these two model camps, I believe, will kind of be what we're looking at. So, give or take somewhere in here. And then again, that spread could increase over the next few days. So we'll have to watch that as it nears portions of Mexico and the Baja Peninsula, but no threat expected at this time. Now, focusing in on the Atlantic Basin, we have a new system that is beginning to develop here. This is as a result as a dying cold front moves across portions of the southeast and into the Gulf of Mexico, and it is now weakening and decaying as it's getting modified by the tropical air of the southeast U.S. Now, what's going to happen here is this dying cold front is resulting in a surface trough formation that eventually could close off into a surface cyclone. And at that point, we could have a tropical cyclone on our hands. So we see how the evolution plays out on the GFS. We get a small but compact system to develop by early on Wednesday, by Tuesday night or Wednesday, so tomorrow night into Wednesday, as the system approaches the southern coast here of Louisiana, and then eventually meanders around over portions of Louisiana for the next couple of days, and then just kind of sits there, dumping rainfall as it goes along. If we look at the accumulated precipitation here, we notice that generally speaking, amounts are approaching about 5 inches in spots, 5 to 6 inches, especially across portions of coastal Louisiana and portions of Mississippi. So either way, this is going to bring some heavy rainfall. If we look at the European forecast here, again, the 6Z run, it was much more strung out with the vorticity. But if we go back to the 0Z run from last night, we notice that, again, it does definitely develop that cyclone as it just kind of meanders around the coast here. So this is going to be dumping a lot of heavy rainfall, and again, it's kind of the same story on the Euro. Heavy rainfall, about 5 to 6 inches in spots are certainly possible the closer to the coast you get. So either way, I think rainfall is going to be the biggest concern. The upper level environment here actually isn't all that unfavorable. If we look at the GFS ensemble forecast of the 200 millibar wind, so we're looking at the wind about 39,000 feet, or the cruising altitude of most commercial airliners, we notice that there actually is a little bit of an upper level anticyclone that tries to develop over here, and generally speaking, just a little bit of outflow, but there still will be some shear around, so this isn't going to be remaining shear free. But eventually this big upper level low over here in the Bahamas will induce more shear with another trough. So it just kind of looks like that we're going to be seeing this be pretty much sheared off. So not really able to take significant advantage of the environment. But if we actually look here at the ensemble mean sea level pressure, we notice that there is a couple of members that do try to get it strong into the low to mid-range tropical storm strength as it is nearing Louisiana. So that's certainly a possibility, and we'll have to take more of a look at that in detail over the next few days. Again, much with the same with the European as well. Not really many members suggesting it, but there is some. There is actually a 987 in here, 1003, 1001. So certainly some of these members indicate that we could be dealing with a tropical storm, or at the very least a tropical depression bringing some very heavy rainfall. But I don't expect this to get that strong for now, but that comes down to a lot of mesoscale processes that we just can't forecast quite yet. So we'll be watching that. Again, heavy rainfall is the main concern there. Now, shifting gears to the Storm Prediction Center website, we have 3 days of active severe weather ongoing. The first is today, day one outlook. We have a marginal risk across portions of the Ohio River Valley into Wisconsin, and really all across portions of the Midwest as well. Main tornado threat today is across portions of Illinois, Indiana, and portions of Michigan. And then also we have that wind and hail threat confined to much of the same area. Tomorrow we have a slight risk for severe storms across portions of the Northeast U.S. Again, tornado threat across portions of the Northeast, only at 2%. Wind and hail are the main threats there. Marginal risk for portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin. And then on day 3, we have a marginal risk for severe storms across portions of the Southeast U.S., including portions of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and portions of southeastern Virginia. So we'll be continuing to monitor all of this, and of course, stay tuned. Don't forget, I posted the full track here of Hurricane Bonnie from the Atlantic and East Pacific Basin, so if you want to go check that out, links will be down in the description below. With that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon and evening. Of course, I am Michael O'Malley, and I will be talking to you guys again some more tomorrow.